So yeah, you guys were at the archive last session. You got some information on, I believe it was the Dragonborn. You got some information on. One second, let me flip back to my notes here because I actually went and took notes. Uh, One of the other tomes. Got some information on where the tome was. It's in a tower in the middle of a desert. I think you got some information on the forest around the base of the mountain. Didn't really get much on the mountain because, I mean, every time they send somebody up, people tend to have this nasty habit of not coming back. Higg managed to do fairly decently on map copying, if I remember correctly. And
Yeah.
Elardis had an encounter with a halfling after the rest of the party literally forgot about him. So Elardis, we're not gonna start with you. We're gonna do things a little differently this morning. We're actually gonna start with Higg, and we're gonna find out what Higg's gonna be doing, and we're gonna do some role play today, like actual full on role play. I'm gonna get around to each one of you, hopefully, one on one, and we'll see how that goes. So. Higg, we're going to start with you. I want you to paint the scene for me. What are you doing? You left the archive. You went back home, if I remember correctly. You went back to try and get a start on squirrel mechanics for building like mechanical fucking squirrel that you can ride or some shit.
So Higg, whilst studying all the maps and realizing that she's going to have to do a lot of walking, and admittedly she's with a bunch of people that she totally doesn't completely know, and she wants to be able to have a way of traveling a little easier without having to rely on someone. I'm sorry, guys. And it's in her mind, she thinks it's going to be faster to build herself one than to train one to carry her, a real one to carry her around like a normal brownie would.
So for those of you that don't know, Critter here has a bird, so you will be hearing a bird squawk from time to time. As a matter of fact, you can see the bird in the camera there. That's Grim. Okay. So, morning, it was, mid-afternoon? So, yeah, mid-afternoon-ish / evening. You've spent a good chunk of the last few hours kind of poring over schematics. Give me one sec. I have sirens coming.
What did you do?
I was going to ask you the same thing.
Heh.
Better question. What did you get caught doing?
I shall admit to nothing. Alright. So you've spent the last few hours looking over and poring over ideas that you've had and looking over the map that you traced or that you drew, and I want you to roll me let me see here. Where is D&D Beyond? Did I not have D&D? I swear I opened D&D Beyond.
It was mentioned. You said you were opening it.
All that great this morning. Let me see here. Collections, campaigns. There we go. That's what I want. As always, there are technical issues. Only this time, your DM is the technical issue. Where is Higg?
Looking for the schematics that she didn't save like she thought she did.
Oh wait, you're in the overflow. You're not in the regular section. Keep getting confused.
Yeah, I tend to do that to people.
Okay. Higg, roll me. Fuck it. For that, roll me an insight check as you're looking over these schematics and trying to figure out how you're gonna kind of approach this. Got it?
Where are all my tabs? Oh no, I think I accidentally
Whoops!
closed Roll20.
So for reference, you did not, because I see your roll.
Oh, found it. Yeah, I found it. It was on its own in the corner.
I love it. So, what did you roll?
22.
A 22 for insight. So, you're poring over these kind of ideas that you've got in your head. And you start sketching, or you start writing them down. And after a few minutes, your notes start to turn into little sketches. And slowly those sketches grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And you start like labeling things here and there, and the parts and pieces, you've got names for them all, and you've got this grand idea of exactly how this thing is going to be built. You're not sure where you're going to get all the pieces, but you kind of have an idea of what it's going to take to build it all. And it's probably about 2 hours later when you come out of that trance that you go into when you start getting ideas. And you look down at the paper in front of you, and there's just like full-on schematics there. Step-by-step instructions on how to build this thing.
Nice.
You look around at your shop.
Do I have what it takes?
Running an investigation check. Not all of the pieces. You have some of them, but not all of them.
It's an 18.
You have some of them, but not all of them. You're probably about 3/4, give or take.
Mm-hmm. Would I know offhand the parts that are missing? Would I know offhand where to get them, or at least how difficult they would be to get?
Roll me an intelligence check. Somebody's out asking the right questions this afternoon, whatever time of day it is.
Check, so that's not the
Correct,
throws, that's the one
goes
above,
across the top
right?
of the sheet. You're only level 8. You shouldn't know this yet.
That would be an 8.
You kind of have a couple
Is
ideas, but you're not 100% sure.
Is my trusty assistant in the shop?
I don't know. Is he? Are you gonna?
I forgot his name.
So you're looking around your shop, and let me grab my dice here. And we're going to roll percentage dice for this, because I do love my percentages. He is not. It looks like either he hasn't been in for a bit, or he has gone home for the day.
I just got
Do you need us to come back to you? Okay. Moving
Yes,
on.
please.
Nico, what are you up to?
Sorry, I pushed the wrong button. He followed Higg, actually, so he's probably looking around the shop, getting into things that he shouldn't be, touching
So
things
we
that
will
he
come back to
shouldn't
you
be.
and Higg then, in a moment, when Higg gets back. Yuki.
She went AFK a sec.
Ilardis.
Okay, so I'm stepping out and kind of a bit dazed as to what the heck is going on. So I'm just kind of leaving the archive and checking to see if I can find any of my party members.
Okay. So roll me a perception check. Nice setup.
That's a 7 plus. It's 11.
11? So you're looking around. You step out of the archive, and it's a little bright out, right? The sun kind of hurts your eyes at first, but your eyes start to adjust a little better. And you're looking around, and you're not quite sure where everybody's gone. All you know is that you woke up in this room with this halfling. Nobody around you that you knew, but there was this halfling. Got into a bit of a scuffle, and then just you left. This overwhelming urge to leave. And you're not sure where everyone went, but they are not here. At least as far as you can see. So tell me, what are you doing?
I'm probably going to be heading back to the tavern, see if I can find anyone else.
So you make your way back to the tavern. Every once in a while you cross paths with somebody. The archive sits, I'm pretty sure I said it sits, a little bit out of the way, outside of town. But you make your way back to town, back to the tavern. You cross paths with people every so often. And as you get back to the tavern keeper smiles at you and just kind of waves, friendly, all friendly like, as they've been getting to know you a bit, or they've been getting to know at least your face. They know who you are. And they look up. Good adventures? I thought you guys were taken off.
Not quite yet. Apparently we got some preparations to do, and after that we're going to be taking
how
off.
long you guys are going to be in? You guys are going to be around for?
I honestly don't even know. If I had to guess, I'd say maybe a couple days, give or take.
Your rooms are yours as usual. It's pretty slow around here. It's a pretty slow season. I mean, winter's starting to come, so tourists are starting to slow down a bit, and the ships are going to have trouble getting up here soon. Things are going to be a little scarce, or a little hard to come by soon, but I guess if our doors are open, you're welcome. Is there anything you need?
Nothing I can overly think of offhand. Has Kiba been well behaved since I left him here? I don't think he would have done too well with books and scrolls and the like.
Your dog's been your dog's been fine. Haven't really had much of an issue. I mean, the tavern keeper turns around and kind of points back towards the fire, actually behind the counter where the meat's been cooking. Kiba's actually laying on the floor right next to the fire.
Good boy.
Would Kiba be able to sense if anything's wrong with me specifically?
Rolling an insight check.
For Kiba, I'm assuming. He doesn't actually have the insight skill. Would that be?
Yeah,
wisdom?
fuck it. Roll me a wisdom check.
Okay. That is going to be a 12.
As far as Kiba is concerned, there's nothing wrong with you. So, Kiba's laying over by the fire, and just kind of sitting at your table. Are you sure there's absolutely nothing you need? Got food and drink in the back. I know you went pretty hard last night, but we still got like a tankard. We still got like a barrel of mead somewhere kicking around.
Water's fine this time.
Water it is. You can grab a glass of water, and a moment later he'll come over and place it in front of you. So you're just gonna wait here for the rest of your group?
Yeah, may as well. I want to say once everybody was done dealing with what they needed to specifically, then we're going to meet back at the tavern and head out.
Well, you're welcome to kick it around here. We're gonna move over to Vincent.
Well, this is going to be awkward now because Vincent had already gone back to the bar. Already gone back to the tavern. So, I might have to think of something else for him to do, so you might have to skip to somebody else.
Do that if you would like.
I mean, that's literally what I had him do when he left the archives, is go back to the tavern. So
you're sitting kind of silently as Ilardis kind of walks in and chats with the barkeep for a moment. And he turns around, and his eyes land right on you as he's sipping his glass of water.
I wave. I was like, I swear you had already been in your room.
No, you guys kind of left me sitting in a chair alone.
Huh. Oops.
That's just it for Vincent. Oops. I love it.
Well, I mean, at least nobody touched you while you were asleep, right? You're good? You're all good?
Not that I can overly remember. I mean, for some reason I got a couple of scorch marks on my armor, but otherwise I can't really remember.
Damn kids playing with lighters.
The bartender.
God, I remember I was in a bad part of Detroit spending a night. I was kind of like drunk off my ass in the street, and well, I got booze all over me, and with these kids with lighters. They had a good time. I didn't. Never spent a night on the drunken streets in Detroit.
The tavern keeper just kind of looks at it. The fuck's Detroit?
It's a shithole city. Never go there once it's invented. By the way, I actually think Detroit is pretty cool. This is all jokes.
For legal purposes, this was a joke.
That's where RoboCop was.
So, you guys are chatting and whatnot, and Akiba manages to walk over and sits by Ilardis's foot. The tavern keeper goes about their business, helping the one or two other stragglers that wander in and are looking for food or might be on a bit of a break from the work day or just kind of looking to let loose for a bit. Sorry, give me 1 second.
No problem. And that was the only shithole I ended up spending the night in. I mean, you do a lot of traveling, you do a lot of drinking. It tends to happen. You end up just sleeping on the streets more. It's not like I was homeless. I had a home. It's just that I wasn't at home. And then they started doing this weird thing where they absolutely, positively wanted you to show your passports, and I couldn't get into the U.S. anymore.
I hear that.
That was bullshit. Oh well.
And then from out of nowhere, you hear the barkeeper whisper, "What the fuck is the U.S.?
Yes,
what's a passport?"
Are you sure you weren't dreaming?
Mm-hmm. It's time traveler stuff. Go back to your drinks.
The tavern keeper looks slightly confused.
Mm-hmm. Like I came here on a metal contraption with wheels that's loud as hell, And this is weird to you?
So's my mother-in-law, but don't hear me complaining.
Is she single?
The fuck is wrong with you?
I'm old and horny.
The tavern keeper turns back behind the counter and literally just goes to turn the meat in the fire, but instead of grabbing the glove to protect his hand, like sticks his hand in the fire to turn the crank. It's like, soothing pain. Anything to get me away from that. Let's go back to Higg and Nico. So, Higg, you're looking around. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
We're gonna cut back to Higg and Nico. Higg, you're looking around your shop, trying to figure out what you got for parts and whatnot, and you realize that. Sorry, 1 second. You realize that Nico's actually followed you into the shop.
Hey, what's this? And he holds up a random tool that he picked up.
What was that? You cut out near the end.
He picks up a random object and he's like, hey, what's this?
Oh. What did he pick up?
One of the tools or something that she uses.
And you're going to put that down right now. Thank you. No touchy.
What is it?
It's a tool. It helps me make things. Please put it down.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Is it just you? And you'll see her kind of like poke her little head up and around to like look around you.
I think so. I don't know where the others went.
Oh, well, hold on a second. So Higg is going to start writing down all the things that are missing from her list and basically make a shopping list. And she's just kind of, once it's done, she's going to march over to Nico and just kind of, I'm assuming he's quite tall. Everybody's quite tall anyway. So she's just going to like reach up and like, here, have you ever come across any of this stuff?
Nico will take the list and look at it. Do I recognize anything on the list?
100.
Okay.
Roll me a D100. Because first we need to figure out how many items are on the list.
20.
I rolled 20 as well.
Those dice are cursed. All right, so there's let's say, let me see here, about 10 or 12 items on the list altogether. Nico, please roll me an insight check. That'll work for this, I guess.
Sure.
People don't use insight checks nearly enough. I have you guys roll them like every other fucking roll.
15?
Maybe a couple of items, but you're not sure where you'd get them. You're fairly unfamiliar with the town here. Might be a couple of items you can pick up at not an alchemy shop, but if there's somebody other than Higg who specializes in artificer stuff, you might be able to find something there. But then again, there's a very good chance that Higg may have actually already attempted to branch out and, network with the other artificers in the area.
Of which I would assume there would probably be not a lot or
there's like
none.
One or two, and I mean, while they do see you as competition, at least for the shops, they're willing to be civil to you, if that makes sense. They're not common.
So I know some of these things, but I don't really know where to find them here. I'm not from here.
Hmm. She's just kind of like give a little sad sigh and a pout.
I
Take
can
the
help you
list back.
find them.
Well, it's gonna take some looking, and I don't know how much time we've got. And I'm sure when my apprentice gets back, he might know, maybe. But we'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, at the very least, I'm going to start gathering all the things that I am going to need so that if we do happen to run into the things I need on the way, then I will have the things I need to build what I need to build.
Okay, I think I'm gonna head back to the tavern and like get into the warmer clothes because we're gonna be going, somewhere cold.
Yeah, you guys probably want to dress pretty warm. It does get pretty cold here. But, I mean, you come with a built-in fur coat, so how cold could you get?
Right? Okay, I'll meet you at the tavern.
Okay, have fun. And she's just kind of like wave over to you from like pulling up pieces of things and shoving them in random little bags and pockets.
Bloody brownies.
Can I try to pocket a little gear or
You what?
something like that? Can I try to pocket like a little gear?
You want to try and
thing?
pocket a little gear?
I
Yeah.
would not recommend
If
that.
you're sure you want to do that, you're going to roll me a stealth check, and Higg's going to roll me a perception. And we're going to... Or, sorry, you're going to roll me a sleight of hand, rather, and Higg's going to roll me a perception.
He's not doing it on purpose. It's just more like, oh, it was in my hand and
You're going to roll me a sleight of hand check, and Higg's going to roll me a perception. Oh! Ho, ho, ho! So,
13.
without...
Yeah, I didn't see
what
shit.
Did you roll? Yeah,
5.
So 13 versus 5, huh? So, Higg, you're a little more involved with your schematics and kind of trying to repack your bags for like the millionth time today. And, Nico, without realizing it, you take this gear that's been sitting in your hand, you put it in your pocket, and you just kind of stand there with your hands in your pockets for a moment. You can add one medium-sized gear to your inventory.
Yay. And then he'll leave.
And then you
and
walk
go
out
to the
and,
tavern.
I mean, God knows what you're going to do with it. Chances are you guys will find something to do with it. But... and we're going to move over to Yuki.
So this is going to be awkward because I was standing outside of the library looking for everyone because you all fucking ditched me or went into a meditative state.
So Ilardis walked right by you. Neither of you saw each other.
We were both just kind of looking in
Correct.
opposite directions.
So
You blinked
we're
at the
currently
same
standing
time.
outside of the archive. The sun's a fair bit bright, having just walked out. It takes your eyes a moment to adjust. And you don't see anybody that you know. There's people kind of walking up and down the path every once in a while that leads to this building. The breeze kind of whispers through the grass and further off through some of the trees. And off in the distance, you can see the snow-tipped mountain peak and the mountain jutting up from the ground, surrounded by what appears to be a massive, massive forest. As you're looking around, and behind you sits this giant archive building that you just came out of. Pretty calm day. Weather's pretty pleasant. Sun's shining down. It's fairly warm, but you don't see anybody that you know.
I'm gonna wait around for like an hour or so and then just give up and go back to the tavern and kind of pout because y'all ditched me. I thought you were my friends.
Okay. So, you wait for about an hour, and nobody shows up. And y'all, you slowly start to make your way back to town, lost in your thoughts. Every once in a while, you pass by somebody, walking in the opposite direction. It's not really all that long of a trek. It takes you a bit, but it's not like long, all things considered, right? The weather stays pretty much constant, and eventually you make your way into the outskirts of town itself. You hear the bustle of the carts and the people talking, and just city life all around. And you're not quite sure what to think of people leaving you behind as you slowly make your way back to the tavern. As you walk down the main street, people just kind of, they wave. And a couple of people smile at you. There's a few shopkeepers standing out front of their shops, giant mats in their hands, and it looks like they're, dusting their mats off and whatnot. One of them's even got this giant wire tool they're beating the mat with over. It's hanging over like this rope, and they're just standing there beating it, and they wave. And pleasant day, I hope.
Was until the past hour or so.
Sorry to hear that. Is there anything I can do for you?
Probably not, unless you know who my friends are and where they
Wouldn't
are.
know who your friends are. Wouldn't know where they are. But tell me, do you have a favorite type of fruit?
Strawberries are kind of amazing.
Strawberries, huh? Well, they're a little hard to come by this time of year. I mean, they're not in season, especially not up in this neck of the woods. But I might have, if you give me a moment, I don't know, maybe make your day a little better. I might have a strawberry lemon muffin inside that I'd be convinced to part with.
Oh God, that sounds good.
Freshly made.
I'll be right back.
That's
Freshly
so
made this morning.
good.
What do you say?
Please?
Give me a sec. I'll see what I can find. And she heads back in. This rabbit heads back in and looks around kind of her shop for a moment before coming out probably a couple of minutes later with what looks like a crisp, fresh muffin. Speckles of red all through it. And it's got a slight yellow tinge to it. And she just kind of hands it out to you. Or holds it out to you.
How much is it?
Nobody likes strawberry lemon this time of year. I don't know why I continue to make them. You having kind of a bad day? I'll tell you what. You have yourself a better day and we'll call it even. What do you say?
That's so kind of you. I will do my best.
If you enjoy the muffin, I wouldn't say no if you were to direct people over my way. I gotta beat Giselda down the street there. Unfortunately, her sales have been through the roof, and I don't know what the hell she's been doing, but there's a little bit of a selfish motive to it, but I do hope you enjoy the muffin, at least.
I'm going to take a small bite and through a mouthful be like, oh my God, it's so good.
The rabbit smiles and she nods. I'm glad you enjoy it, and you have yourself a pleasant day.
You too, and thank you. I will send people as close to you as I can get them.
Yeah, that would be muchly appreciated. And she goes back to beating the mat.
I'll keep heading back towards the tavern, just nibbling at my muffin as I go.
You get to the tavern door, and your muffin is almost gone as you walk up the steps and in through the door, where you see Ilardis, Kiba, and Vincent sitting at one of the tables. And a moment later, Nico walks in.
And you just managed to hear Vincent, at this moment, you just managed to hear Vincent say, I'm old and horny, that's what's wrong with me. Oh, hi guys.
One moment, I wish to check something before I do it.
I see you guys have been drawing on the map again.
No.
Nope, don't know what you're talking about.
Just while we're waiting for Vincent to pull up his stuff here, I'm going to show you guys what I'm looking at, because I got the map set up on this screen for you, should we need to switch over to a battle map. This is what they've been drawing on the map.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was originally just my face. My players have added everything else.
I've been playing with my dice the entire time, and I have visual proof.
So, yeah, it's been a thing. Yeah, no,
Everything
just
okay?
showing off our artistry on the map.
So I found a
Loving
thing
it.
I can do, and I wish to do it out of spite.
You what?
I found a thing I can do, and I wish to do it out of spite.
Okay. So, please enlighten us. What are you doing?
So, because they ditched me, they walked right past me and ditched me, and came and sat in a nice cozy bar at a comfortable table. I am going to use prestidigitation so that Vincent and Alardis all of a sudden smell sewage.
Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how rank is this sewage?
They will be lucky to not throw up from the smell. And it's just the briefest of moments. So they're going to sit there questioning what it is and if they're even smelling
So,
something
on a
correctly.
scale of 1 to 10.
So I'd say about a 6 or
Alardis
7.
and Vincent, please roll me a Constitution saving throw. Excellent.
13.
Vincent? Vincent?
Nope.
You there? Roll
Yep,
me a
I'm here.
Constitution saving
Hey.
throw.
10.
It was such a lovely morning. Well, lovely afternoon, decent day. And the weather was nice, and the birds were chirping, at least outside of town. People were kind of getting on and minding their business. Vincent screams something out at the bartender, at the tavern keeper, and then Yuki walks in, and a moment later, all you two can smell is rotten, festering sewage. And it's just for a moment, but it is enough to trigger both of your gag reflexes and cause you to void the contents of your stomach all over the tavern floor. And the tavern keeper just looks up and over at all of you, not quite sure what to say, as the sounds of retching fill the tavern.
Oh, God, it smells like Detroit.
Ilardis? Ilardis?
I'm basically doing the same thing that Vincent's doing, only I'm not saying a word about it.
So, you have successfully caused your teammates to throw up all over the inside of the tavern, and finally the tavern keeper kind of looks up. And the reasoning for that was...
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to pop the rest of the muffin in my mouth, look at those two and go, I'm not cleaning that, and just go
the tavern
sit
keeper
at
looks
the
up at you
bar.
and says, I wasn't talking to you, sweetheart. Now you just got me curious.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Could you two have at least hit one of the buckets in the corner of the room? Or maybe, out the front door?
Yeah.
Do I need to add a security deposit to your room?
I'm sure they'll be fine.
Again, looks right at Vincent, who's still dry heaving and making sounds. Do I need to add a security deposit to your room?
I think it's all out.
I just throw a thumbs up and try to go for a bucket so I can use the water that I still have in my tankard to rinse my mouth out and spin
Tavern
into
keeper
the
looks
bucket.
right at you and says, "Don't worry, just drink your water. Prestidigitation, and the vomit disappears from the tavern floor."
Blech.
Waves their hand, and all of the vomit disappears. Nico, you walk in just in time to see Vincent and Alardis throw up. Watch the ensuing aftermath. And this tavern keeper is just standing there looking at everybody with this look of just utter contempt on their face at the moment.
Are you okay? Are you sick?
No, I'm fine. Why?
You just threw up.
I just
Sorry, I'm looking through my list. Hold on.
You're not there at the moment. You're
Oh, I
back in
thought.
your,
Sorry,
you're back in your shop.
because you said Nico.
So for those of you who don't know, we have the character Nico. This one is also known as Nico Offline. Both spelled the same, Nico, right? For your name? Yep. Spelled the exact same way.
Yep.
So yeah, that's a thing. So while this is going on, we're gonna cut back to the brownies shop for a moment. Higg, you're kind of rearranging your bags when Nico leaves, and you're trying to make things fit into pockets and gathering up the supplies that you're going to need for this squirrel contraption. One second, my camera's not focused. There we go. You're trying to gather up the supplies that you're going to need for this squirrel contraption, at least for what you think you're going to need. Hello, alien robot! You do manage to get things packed up, and you kind of look around. What are you doing?
Well, I pretty much have everything I'm going to need. Because it's about nighttime. We're not leaving tonight, right?
Afternoon, moving on towards the evening, but not quite evening yet, because it was fairly late in the day when you guys left the archive. So.
Okay, so she's going to put all her stuff in her room. Spend a little bit of time gathering any like personal stuff that she also wants to bring. And then on her way out the door to go meet everyone at the tavern, she's going to leave a note for the apprentice. And it's basically like a copy of the list of the shit she needs. And she's going to like, it's basically just going to say, I'm building a thing. I need this.
Like 10 to 12
Find it.
parts that you'll need and whatnot, or the 10 to 12 items that you're going to need for this design. Okay.
Yeah. And basically just be like, you know where the money is. Just get it. She's just basically got to tell him to just take the money out of the register, whatever it takes to get it.
So you leave the note and head out the door, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
So you mosey on down towards the tavern, and when you get there, the door to the tavern is actually wide open as you're approaching. It's the first thing you notice.
I will double check between us that like she left all like the extra stuff back at her shop. She just has like her regular bags with her.
That's fine.
Just FYI.
So when you get to the tavern, the door is wide open.
That's not good. how far? Like, I'm assuming I'm pretty close if I can see that the door is open. Like, do I hear like any like? Is it like? Is anybody yelling? Like, I'm gonna pay attention to see if there's like bad things happening. That would be an
You're
8.
not quite sure, but you do notice a very familiar, Firbolg, the back of a Firbolg standing in the doorway. It looks like it might be Nico.
Okay. So my tabs are going all fucky. Sorry. All right, so she's going to just sort of walk carefully, look around everything. As soon as she gets close to the person who might be Nico, she's gonna like look up. Is it really him? Kind of thing.
It appears to be.
And is he blocking the doorway completely, or can I just go by him? All right, I'm just gonna walk in.
The sight that you see inside is a very tense-looking situation with this absolutely just flabbergasted tavern keeper. Nico looking over at the table where Ilardis and Vincent are sitting. Ilardis making dry heaving sounds, and Yuki shoving the last of what appears to be a muffin into her mouth.
Tastes like destroyed.
I'm assuming that there's vomit everywhere, right? There's vomit everywhere.
Just been cleaned up, but you can still smell it in the air.
And she's just going to go. She's just going to turn around and go right back out the door. She's gonna hold her breath and just go around back outside the door and not breathe until she's back outside.
Are you trying to be sneaky about this at all? The rest of you need to roll me a perception check, please. We're going to see if you notice Higg. Oh, somebody drew a bat on the map. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll admit to that one.
I love it.
15.
12.
13.
Anybody roll over 10 happens to spot movement out of the corner of their eye and kind of glancing over, notices Higg.
Hi, Higg. Bye, Higg.
Which, oddly enough, makes complete sense because Higg was right next to Nico, which means Nico might not necessarily notice.
Hit.
So we're going to move past all of this shenaniganry. We're going to say that things have settled down a fair bit, and that you guys have managed to coax Higg back into the tavern. You're all sitting around a table about an hour or two later. And we are actually going to pause a different table. Yes. And we are going to pause for 15 minutes. We're going to go on a 15-minute break. Smoke him if you got him. Grab a drink refill if you need it. Snacks, whatever you guys got. We'll be back at quarter after the hour. So for me right now, it is 1 o'clock. We will be back at 1:15. And remember to my players, your mics will be hot because of the way I have the music playing. I really need to find a better way to do this. I just have to get up off my lazy ass and do it.
Right.
So your mics will be hot, and we'll see you guys in 15. All right, so you guys are sitting around this table in the tavern. The tavern keeper, because I totally remember the tavern keeper's name, kind of standing behind the counter, again, as they do, and just kind of minding their own business as you guys are trying to figure out, I guess, what your next step is. It's later in the evening. Things have kind of picked up a bit. People are starting to filter in after a long work day. And,
I have a bad idea.
What?
The bartender's most is slack and he gets pretty ravens.
No. So things are starting to pick up at the end of, as the workday starts to wind down. People start to filter in. the noise and the voices, the noise level picks up as people one by one fill up the tables and start ordering drinks. People come on shift at the tavern. There's like one or two other helpers here, servers, and pretty soon you guys are left to your own devices, really. People aren't really going to be able to hear you if you talk kind of low voice, but raising your voice too much means they might be able to actually overhear everything you're saying. And again, the day slowly starts to wind down. So, what are you guys up to?
It's about supper time-ish, right? I'm ordering food.
What are you ordering? Sorry, paint the scene for me.
There is access to bread, cheese, and meat, right? I'm gonna order me a sandwich.
Order you a sandwich. You know what? Let me go open up my notes. Yes, I totally have those open. Give me 1 second. Where is nethoterad? There it is. You guys are in. Keldoros. You guys remember the name of your tavern?
Cow and grape, wasn't it?
Great. Awesome. Somebody's paying attention. I love it. Move this over to this screen. Wait for that Excel spreadsheet to open up. Thank you, honey. I love you. Cow and grape. Here we go. Business inventory. Cow and grape. Yeah, they've got meat, cheese, and bread. They've got different, a couple of different types of meat. They've got beef. They've got chicken, and something you've actually never seen before. They have exactly one type of cheese and exactly one type of bread, however.
Beef, cheese, and bread. And if they've got it, mustard.
Tavern keeper just kind of looks at you like, what the fuck's mustard?
Dude. You need to find mustard seed.
Aha. So, beef, cheese, and bread?
Beef, cheese, and bread.
Be a moment, though.
That's fine.
Just does Higg overhear the mustard seed conversation?
Perception check. You are sitting around. You know what? Fuck it. We'll assume that yes, actually, because you are sitting around the same table. So.
Okay. I mean, as a brownie, that's whether she likes it or not. The nature shit is kind of her bag as well. Mm-hmm. So, would she know if there's things like that in the area? She's been in the area for a while. She would have already started digging around to find what's available in the place just for like tastes of home and stuff.
Roll me a nature check.
That'll be an 18.
You've heard of things like that around this area? Like around, like on this continent, right? It is a very small window when it can grow. It has to be planted almost like within a 1 week period. Once it starts to grow, you've got about a week to harvest it once it's fully grown. And it is very expensive.
Expensive enough for it to, like, be worth the profit of the work it's put into?
It's more of a luxury. People who have the disposable income probably enjoy it, whereas people who might be on the lower end of things, it's not like it's not something that they would probably carry. It's more it's more a treat.
Yeah, it's a special occasions kind of thing.
For like the common rabble. Whereas people who have a bit more money, it's probably considered more of a, oh, look at the money I got to throw around. Like we have this at least once a week, or we have this like every night type deal.
Okay, I'll go relay that information real quick to the tavern guy as a sort of like way to make up for the fact that they puked all over his place.
One moment. And tavern keeper, and the tavern keeper nods, thanks you for your your input. Says I'll keep that in mind. I have no idea where I'd go or who I'd talk to find something like that, but one of my contacts ought to know something. So, I mean, testing out the waters might not be a bad idea, especially if it's good for bread, for like sandwiches and whatnot. Might be something worth introducing the local riffraff to. Yeah, at the word riffraff, you just see several of the tavern patrons lift their head, look over at the tavern keeper, just deadpan look at him, and a moment later, a couple of them smirk and go back to their conversation.
Vincent does too.
Of course he does.
Higg's just gonna shrug and be like, I know it's, expensive and it sounds like it's a lot of trouble, but you know what? I think it would actually be pretty popular around here.
I'm always looking to expand my menu, I suppose. Something new and exciting. Something that people don't normally get to experience.
Yeah, it'd be a change from vomit on the floor.
I totally agree. Looks over at Ilaris and Vincent for a moment before diverting attention back to Higg.
She's gonna shrug again. I just happen to know them. There's nothing I can do about this. I do what I can. And on that note, can I have a double cream?
You paying cash, or are you looking for it on your tab?
Nah, I'm paying cash. These guys are going to be leaving soon, and we're going to go up the mountain, so I might as well I've already settled all my tabs. I don't want to add more.
There, so you're going to be taking off for a bit, huh? So you're minding your shop then?
Wouldn't trust anybody else to.
With the kind of crap that goes on in your shop, I don't doubt it. I've seen the explosions that come out of your shop from time to time.
Every mistake is something
I'm
learned.
Not debating now. You're gonna blow up the shop. Better somebody you trust.
It's my shop to blow up. Exactly.
Kind of smiles. Well, I mean, it's not going to be the same around here. You've helped me out with a scrape or two from time to time, but if you're heading off on an adventure, I wish you all the best. I hope you find whatever it is you're looking for or whatever you are attempting to do. And remember, you come back, the door's always open.
Oh yeah, well, I just want to kill a dragon bitch, and then we'll see.
You talking about the one that was out front the other day?
You bet. Yep, she just... You know me, I keep a grudge.
Bring me a couple.
Can't let it go.
Or...
Oh, you bet.
If we really want to get dirty, bring me your head, I'll put it on the wall.
Sure, I'll see what I can do. If it starts to smell, I'll throw it out, sorry.
Fair enough. And I expect tails when you get back.
I will do my best to get back.
Heads or tails, make up your mind.
Both. And she's gonna grab her cup and go back to the table. With a slightly lighter step.
Vincent says, I just want it to be noted that I vomited much further than Ilardis did.
The tavern keeper stays silent. Actually, you know what? I do have the tavern keeper's name. Give me a second.
Piran.
Abby looks over at you.
Oh, no, wait. It was Iravan and Abby, right?
Abby looks over at you. You can just see something cross her eyes for a moment, like cross her face for a moment, but she doesn't say anything as she looks right at you.
Got something on your face. I think it was a spider.
You hear her take a sharp breath in, and a moment later she's back to serving drinks, paying attention to somebody else at the counter.
Mm-hmm. I just wanted to confirm that somebody else saw it.
The evening rolls on. Yuki has her sandwich. You guys are all sitting around this table. And you're talking. What are you discussing?
As everyone's talking, Alaris's foot is like bouncing up and down on the floor, but he's clearly not realizing that he's doing it, but it's something that he's doing anyways.
Anyone else?
Eating.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there like vegetarian
There's always
options,
vegetarian
by
options.
the way?
At least at this tavern.
Okay, cool.
You get your vegetarian dish kind of put in front of you. It's basically the exact same as the meat dish without the meat. At least that's what it is tonight. Cheeses and breads, and there's a bit of greenery on the sides, maybe some veggies, but yeah, exact same as a meat dish, just without the meat.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
Vincent has the same thing that Nico has, except he has only meat. Plus extra meat.
Go ahead.
So, just, like, give Nico your veggies?
No, he doesn't. He excludes the veggies. Right. Nico has the extra veggies.
Your
Vincent has the extra meat.
With your board, I believe, so we don't have to take care of that.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, one of the less than sober patrons bumps into one of you guys. This place is starting to get a little rowdy, a little, lively for the evening as the night wears on and people are looking just to forget about their day. The noise level picks up, to the point where it's a decent din.
We should probably talk about what we're going to be doing on this mountain.
It's your guys' go.
I assume premeditated murder.
Well, hopefully premeditated murder, but what else are we going to do?
Why is it always premeditated murder with the barbarian?
Mm-hmm. And it's not always, it's just most likely.
As opposed to spontaneous murder?
I mean, that happens.
I mean, it is technically different. Higg will pipe up from between her bites.
Yeah, other than finding out what's going on with the missing people, and maybe possibly premeditated murder of a dragonborn, what are we doing?
Well, isn't that where the what's it called? That paradox was coming from as well? Isn't that something we need to be looking into?
Yeah, probably. Okay, so
and
we
honestly, if
people. Sorry, you go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and if this paradox thing has something to do with, like, I don't know if it's something specifically to do with messing with time travel or anything, but if Kimeko's here, then that might have something to do with her.
Probably
She might have
does.
something to do with it, so
I mean, she essentially kidnapped an entire town and enslaved them for God knows how long, so what's kidnapping a few people now and then, right?
and if they're just kidnapped and, not dead.
Hopefully not dead. So, find kidnapped people, hopefully premeditated murder of a dragonborn, and find this god-killing weapon? That sounds about it, right? Not too hard, just a day in the park, right?
Exactly. We got this.
We should
Just,
also.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, we should probably avoid heading up to the mountains. And as he's saying it, his leg is still bouncing up and down, and he still doesn't realize he's doing it.
Is it like
Wait.
excessive kind of bouncing? Like is it making a lot of noise? Is it visibly noticeable?
Perception check. While we're doing that, Ilardis, describe this for me.
And that'll be a 20 on the perception.
So he's sitting like all nice and calm and whatnot as everybody's talking, and as soon as the talk of going up to the mountain ranges gets brought up, then his leg starts bouncing faster and he starts to get a little more nervous.
Okay. So Higg, you do actually happen to notice his leg bouncing rapidly. The way I envision it, please correct me if I'm wrong, Ilardis, is more like those of us who have restless leg syndrome. When your knee starts bouncing a fair bit, it can either come slow or pick up faster pace depending on the emotions that you're feeling at the moment.
See, I'm doing it right now, and you can see my background
and
shaking.
Actually, so am I. So.
Yeah, it's basically that, but under normal circumstances, Alertus has never done this.
Okay, so you just suggested we don't go up the mountain while we're talking about going up the mountain.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. You okay?
Did I? Huh, weird.
Have you had coffee or something? Are you supposed to be this nervous?
I don't drink coffee. I've never had coffee in my life. I don't need it. I don't sleep.
So then why are you so weird tonight?
I honestly have no idea what you're talking about. This is perfectly fine for me.
Vincent is gonna make a
What kind of
check.
check, Vincent?
An insight check.
What are you trying to? What are you trying to see?
If he is hiding something, like either willingly or unwillingly.
I was going to roll an insight check as well, just for straight up lying, though, because I don't know him personally.
Vincent, roll.
Fuck, 8. I'm not rolling great today.
You're not sure, actually. I mean, you know what Vincent's been like, or you know what Ilardis has been like in the past. And, you've been traveling with him for quite some time now. But, just with all the excitement from today and, the sudden churning of your stomach and avoiding its contents all over the floor, you're not feeling quite at your peak. And, you're not 100% sure. Something could be going on, but it's hard to tell, Higg. So, 19?
19.
You, from what you know of Ilardis, he's usually sure of himself. He's usually sure of his actions, or at least confident in his actions and the way he displays himself. And he's showing several nervous tics, at least things that he hasn't displayed in the couple of short days that you've known him. By the way, if you guys would like,
for sure,
go over to the random chit chat in the Discord. There's a link there for Bardley. I'm currently streaming some music through it for you guys for the tavern. I'm going to be trying to. We'll see if I'm trying out a new system. We'll see how it works. But yeah, you're not quite sure about these nervous tics. It's not something you've really seen Ilardis display before. But then again, you've only known him for a couple of days. The rest of the group would probably know him a fair bit better. But it's still something's not.
Her gut is telling her that something's weird. He's an elf, right? I remembered that correctly.
Yeah.
I mean, how much would I know of this species to know whether or not that's, like, something that they just do kind of thing? Or if this is, like, red flag, warning.
Actually, if you're looking at species, my mistake. Let me check your character sheet for a second.
I just don't know how often I would have had occasion to actually run across them, and generally speaking, brownies and elves don't get along traditionally.
We'll use wisdom instead. You've run across a few elves in your time, both here and in your home. And you haven't really had a need to pay attention to them. Like, you haven't really had to pick up on cues from them, like racial traits or anything like that. You've more been busy with your own thing. Every once in a while, like, an elf has come to you for something, but it's more of a, yeah, I can be courteous to them, but I'm not exactly going to be friends with them type deal.
Alright, she's just gonna look at the others and then look at him and be like, you're not gonna throw up again, are you?
No, I'm perfectly fine. I already said this.
Have you looked at your leg? Are you aware you're doing that?
Doing what? I don't know what you're talking about.
Is he nearby?
You are.
Yeah, but is he, like, next to me, or would I have to get up to get near him?
Get near him.
Alright, she's gonna get up, walk across the table, just on the table.
What?
And take his head and move it down to his leg.
Okay.
Look!
Ilardis?
He's gonna look down and realize that his legs just going like a mile a minute, and he says, huh, weird.
She's just gonna turn to all the other people and be like, he's your friend, is this normal?
No, it is not. Ilardis, sweetie, why are you being weird?
I'm not being weird. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I'm gonna cast Detect Magic, see if anything spell weird is going on.
Okay. Cast your spell. 1 second. How long are you keeping this up?
Oh, the
No.
quote unquote charade. Oh, Yuki, never mind.
Yuki, how long are you keeping this up for?
Well, it says up to 10 minutes, so I guess as long as I need, up to that 10 minutes.
You feel the energy is the magical energies kind of coalesce around you for a moment, and focus more in on, they settle more in around your eyes as your eyesight starts to pick up a little more than it normally does. The rest of you can see Yuki's eyes sort of glow, just dully glow more than they usually do. And, Yuki, as you're looking around the room, Ilardis lights up a little bit. Not much. There's a dull glow there. Just kind of infused with his aura.
Hey, think you might have been spelled a little bit. You're coming off a little funky on the spell detection here.
Weird, because I don't recall any of that happening whatsoever.
Are you sure?
Hey, where did you get those burn marks on your clothes?
I honestly have no idea. I was sitting at the archive. Next thing I knew, I woke up and I was outside of the room I was in and noticed that there was scorch marks on my armor and cloak. I have no idea.
So you don't remember leaving the room?
No.
Higg's
Okay.
going to, while they're talking, Higg's going to check those scorch marks.
Okay.
That's a
16
16.
on which roll?
Investigation.
An artificer, you would know magical contraptions. You do know.
I also have
Roll me an
Arcana.
check. That'll work better for you.
25! Nat 20.
You
Let's
should have kept the
go.
16. It's the Arcana check. As soon as Yuki mentions that something's going on, and that he's starting to light up a little bit, and Vincent inquires about the scorch marks, you walk up to Ilardis, if you're not already next to him. You just-
Well, I was already holding his
you-
head,
you
basically.
Kind of glance down, look him over. Scorch marks. Yeah, somebody's thrown fire at him, at least as far as you can tell from the impact. It's not natural. It's something that you wouldn't get just being near a fire. It's almost like a fire spell of some kind. Something
Like
that.
fireball or
Except
something.
it's too small to be an actual fireball spell.
Well, he's been hit by a fireball, or, well, more like a fire spitball or something. He's definitely hit by magic.
You were in a fight. So... Wait, so then... Okay. We were all told to leave because somebody wanted to rent out the calligraphy room. Not calligraphy,
Map room.
the map room.
Cartography. The
Which
cartography.
And we
nobody
were all kind
ever
of-
does.
Cartography, that was it. And we were all, thank you God, and we were all ushered out. And did someone stay behind to check out who was in the gonna use the room?
I went invisible and I did not recognize the person.
Who was it?
So I just left.
Or did you see them at least?
I believe I saw them. Yeah, I saw them. It was a pink-haired gnome that I have never seen before. So I just left.
Does that description sound familiar to Higg?
Roll me a wisdom check.
Or it was a halfling, not a gnome.
There we go. Sorry, my button wasn't working. It rolled twice by accident. The first is 15, the second is 18.
No. That description does not sound familiar to you at all.
All right.
Well, only one way we're going to find out. Back to the archive. That's literally what she does.
What? Wouldn't they
Well-
be closed by now?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'd be shut up by now, wouldn't they?
I don't know. Is
I
it
mean-
like a 24-hour building kind of thing, or does it close?
Did
I don't know.
anybody bother to
I'm asking, do I know that?
check?
We did not.
Hey,
We did not.
Well, I've been there lots of times. I would know that.
this is not a 24-hour building. They are kind of open into the evening. Unfortunately, by the time you guys manage to get back, they will most likely be closed.
Shit.
I mean, we could break in.
No.
I don't want to break
No.
in.
No. I still live here. No.
Fine. All right. So, honestly, I think, is there a way we can get his memory back and make him stop doing this? And he points at Vincent points at Ilardis's leg.
I could do another Arcana check.
Up to you.
I'm not very good with magic, so I don't know
Nico's
what
like-
to do.
Nico's just like, I hit
That would
things
be-
with my fists.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 20 on the Arcana check.
Let me take a look at the Arcanas. Check for a second. The actual, check. A second here. It comes with a description, or if I can get a description of it. Roll the 20, huh? So between the detect...
Not on that one, but yes.
So, between the detect magic, which I haven't been told has been taken down yet, and the Arcana check, you guys are actually able to determine what house of magic was cast. It was... Give me 1 second here. Because I totally need to figure out what... I totally know what spell this... I totally know what house this spell is from. It's an enchantment spell. For something like this, you'd probably need somebody who knows, almost a higher level dispelled magic. You also know that it's... You also realize, or know that it's temporary. You're just not sure. You're not
How
sure
temporary? Oh. Is there anybody in town that would be awake right now that's capable of this?
Good question. 1 moment. It's only early evening. There might be a priest over in one of the temples.
Higg will suggest that. I mean, it's that or wait until morning and go back to the archive, but who knows what else could be going on in that little elf brain of his. And Higg's just gonna start, slowly walking away.
It's early evening, right?
go now.
So the priest should still be up. Let's go attempt that, just in case.
Yeah. Let's go.
And for all we know, he could be commanded to kill us all in our sleep, so let's not take that chance, guys.
Yeah.
As soon as I realize that everybody's getting up, then I end up misty stepping towards the door, and and as soon as I reappear at the door, I have my bow at the ready with an arrow in it.
I'm going to cast command and tell you to stop.
As soon as he reappears, both of his arms are shaking. Like, he has the calm, cool, and collected look on his face that he always does when he's in combat, but his arms are shaking, which they never do.
We're not fighting right now, Alardis. Go away the bow.
He's not in control of his actions. You'll hear Higgs.
Yes, I'm not
Really?
making that saving throw.
I rolled a 6.
So, your saving throw fails. Yuki, what are you doing? What are you using the command spell for?
I command him to stop.
You feel your body tense up, Ilardis. Literally, with your bow out, you're frozen. You can't move.
Would command be
So-
considered a
Oh,
charm
hold on.
spell?
That is a-
'Cause I had advantage.
I'm
on that.
reading over it. So far, I have not seen
Give me 1 second, I
charm.
need to shut
Give
my
me a
mouth.
sec.
Yeah, because as an elf, you have some natural immunities to certain spells.
Does not say anything about
What?
charm. You speak a one-word command to a creature you can see within range. Target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or follow the command on its next turn. Spell has no effect if the target's undead, if it doesn't understand your language, or if your command is directly harmful to it. And then it gives a list of examples of stuff you can say.
Spell. 1 moment.
First level enchantment, apparently.
1 second. Looking. Let's take this a bit of a different route. It is not a charm. So,
Okay, so yeah, I don't have advantage on that. Just wanted to make sure.
good thinking though. So your body just instantly freezes. You can't move.
Alright, I'm tying him to a chair again.
You tie him to a chair.
Again, yes. And I look at the bartender and I say, hey, 1 second. Where is it?
Abby.
Where is it?
It's Abby.
Abby. Hey, Abby, we're borrowing a chair again. We're borrowing a chair.
Bring this one back in more than matchsticks this time.
Yes.
We'll try?
Okay.
That's the plan.
I'll add it to your tab.
If not,
I'll add it
we'll
to your
pay
tab.
for it.
Mhm. And, he's also going to tie Ilardis' arms.
Like, full body bind him to the chair.
Like, I mean, he's tying his arms separately. Like, so he's behind his back kind of thing. Then tying him to the chair. And taking his whatever knives he might have on him.
Okay.
Or
Take
whatever
all
blades
the
he might have
weapons.
on him.
1 second. I have things falling off of my desk. Give me a
And-
second. I don't know what's falling in.
I'm telling you, you have
I
gremlins.
know I have gremlins. Oh.
It's the ghosts.
I don't know. I don't even know what.
And you live close enough to the
I don't
river, you
even
might
know
have little
what
people.
fell, so. Anyways, sorry. Continue. What?
And he looks at Ilardis and says, "Alright, buddy. It's for your own good. You get these back once we get your brain straightened out."
For the time being, he's just sitting there quietly.
Alright.
Hig's gonna walk up to him after he's all tied up Be like, how would you feel about going for a little forced nap? Just, just in case. It'll go faster for you anyway. This is gonna be boring.
He can't talk. He's frozen. He was told to stop. The command he was given to stop.
Right.
He cannot answer you.
Alright, so Vince is picking up the chair.
Poor Snap, we'll keep that on the back burner just in case.
Let's get him to politically.
Higg has a high level of sleep waiting to go just in case.
Yuki, how long does your command spell last?
Let me find it again and I will tell you.
I have advantage against being charmed, and magic can't put me to sleep.
1 round.
1 round. So,
Damn.
At this point, the command spell, we will assume, has worn off. Elardis, you regain control of your faculties. And you are tied to the chair. What are you doing?
When I finally managed to come to, I see that I'm tied to a chair.
You were completely aware
Again.
of everything that they had done while you were frozen.
No.
You just
didn't move.
No. Go ahead.
You literally just couldn't move.
So he starts pulling up the bindings, and this time he's freaking out, going, "No!"
Going what?
Sorry.
No.
Why not?
Sorry, he's going what?
Alardis is like completely losing it. He's like pulling up the ropes. He's like trying to kick, but I'm assuming his legs are tied to the legs of the chair too. But he's basically bouncing around in the chair, going, "No, we can't go to the mountains. No,
we're not going to the mountains. You're going to see a priest."
Yeah, we're gonna do a little exorcism. And yes, why can't we go to the mountains?
I don't know. We just can't go to the mountains.
Alright. We're not going to the mountains right now. We're going to go and take you to see a very nice man or woman who will be able to take a look at you. They will be able to treat you. And hopefully we will be able to get some straight answers. Does that sound like a good idea, Lardis?
He's just gonna hang his head and just mutter something along the lines of, "I'm sorry, I failed."
You're good, man. You're good. Let's get going. And Vince is gonna pick him up again.
Lardis, how much do you weigh?
Say about 110 pounds.
Higg's going to tell Lardis, "If I were you, I wouldn't be sorry that you failed. You were trying to shoot your friends."
Yeah, you may
21.
tell Lardis that's not a problem, especially at that 110, considering that you're a barbarian. Not a problem.
Alright, y'all, let's go do an exorcism, I guess.
Sweet.
I guess Higg will lead the way to the nearest cleric establishment.
I'm gonna have to go look up the deities, because, like I said, you guys are helping me build this world and get used to things, so give me 1 second.
Yep. So, is this like exorcist kind of thing where can you spin your head around?
As you guys are walking towards wherever it is we're going, Alardis is muttering to himself, "I failed her over and over again.
Okay.
Who's her? Who did you fail?
I have a feeling this might be a box we don't want to open here.
Well, we're walking down the street now, so...
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, Higg is warning you guys that she thinks you should not poke this particular bear and keep him calm. She's trying to do so subtly.
Gotcha.
1 second.
Meanwhile, Nico puts his hand in his ridiculous, really weird thing in there. He pulls out the the gear that he pocketed on accident. He's like, "Oh, Nick, I'm so sorry. I put this in my pocket. It's yours."
Higg's going to... It takes her like a minute to realize like that that's from her shop. And she's grab it. Thank you for bringing it back.
I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I put it in my pocket.
You're one of those people who walks away with everybody's pens, aren't you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll make a note to put a chain on everything.
So is it like you can projectile vomit green stuff too? Because if so, you should have done that in the bar. That would have been cool. Probably would have flown farther than mine.
I could make arrangements for you guys to try.
We'll think about that later.
I'm still not cleaning it up, though.
Just give me 1 sec. I'm almost done here. So, as you guys make your way over, there are a few different temples that you could go to. One is for a deity known as Velika. Another one is for a deity known that's worshipped as under the name of Heimdall. And there is another one. There's a goddess of war. There's there's a god of death.
I have a feeling Heimdall is where we want to go.
Another one that's more based off of trickery.
Heimdall, probably.
So,
As long as we stay away from the one about death, it's really
we'll
scary.
stay away from what?
The god of death.
Why? Death is part of life. The last part.
Usually. And then you become a zombie, ghoul, or lich.
I mean, that depends on where you are, I
You guys
guess.
make your way over to the temples. Just a few of them scattered around. Some of them are large, some of them are small, some are fairly ornate. And the one that you're looking actually looks like a blacksmith's forge. It's kind of styled like that. You can tell it's a cathedral, but it's kind of got those workings in it, right? That kind of give it that aesthetic. And you walk in, and a dwarf just inside the front door greets you all. Good evening. How may
Hello.
be of service?
Do you guys remove weird curses and enchantments and stuff? Especially of the mind control
We do
variety?
many things here, my dear. You're going to have to be a little more specific than that.
All
Our
right.
friend's
And
being weird and possibly mind controlled, and we don't know how to remove it ourselves.
And Vincent's gonna walk up and put Illards down in front of the dwarf, still tied to the chair and everything. And it's like, yeah, because he tried to, like, we told him we were going to bring him somewhere to get him treated, and he drew his weapon. So this is for his safety.
Fascinating. What?
He seemed like he was kind of fighting it, but he was still doing it. So
he was freaking the F out, and for everybody's sake, he can stay stuck to the chair.
Do you know what spell was used?
No idea.
Higg will
yes.
Repeat what her findings had been when she originally looked at everything.
Enchantment spell. A temporary enchantment spell with an undeterminate time limit. I mean, there's multiple spells that could fall into that. Why don't you guys come on in? Have a seat, I suppose, and I will go talk to one of our clerics and see what we can find. I unfortunately can't do anything here. I'm just, your normal lay person, kind of a greeter at the door.
Yep.
But I'll see what I can find for you.
Cool. Thank you.
He wanders off. Down.
Vincent will go in, put Alardis in a chair while he's still in a chair, and sit down next to him.
So,
Gonna follow. Gonna sit.
So, looking around. Nico, what are you doing?
I'm also just gonna follow in.
Pardon?
Yes, I'm just gonna follow everybody else and sit
Okay.
down as well.
So, you guys.
Higg's not sitting down. Higg is exploring this place because I'm assuming she probably hasn't been here before.
Not that you can remember. So, roll me an investigation check, I guess, or a perception check. What are you trying to do with your explorations, I suppose?
Oh, it's a new building. She's just captivated by what could be around here.
Roll me an investigation check. 9?
9.
You're more wowed with the inferred crafting and kind of blacksmithing abilities, and you see hints of things that could possibly hint at protection. All of these things have they're somehow involved with like protection. You see hints of travel within some of the architecture. It's varied, and it probably wasn't cheap to make. It probably took a long time to make it as well. So whoever was working on these was working on them for quite some time, and just the all-around effort that went into them. You're hoping they got paid really well.
Sweet. So, kid in a candy store. Got it.
It's probably about 10 to 15 minutes later that the dwarf comes back with a wolf behind him. And the wolf looks up at you guys. 1 second. The wolf looks up at you guys. I hear you are having a problem?
Wait, the wolf talk?
Yeah, it's an anthropomorphic wolf.
That is so
He's got
cool.
he's not wearing robes. The wolf is wearing more almost leather, not leather armor, but leather coverings. Got a couple of different earrings. One eye's green, one eye's blue, and here you have a problem.
Our friend has been spelled and tried to kill us. Help, please?
Is Ilardis still muttering?
Yeah, I'm still muttering, I failed her, over and over again.
We also don't know who her is.
Looks over at Ilardis. He's already in chair. Why you put him on other chair?
Seem polite. I'm not gonna force him to
He's
not
already
sit.
sitting. Are you daft?
He
Yeah.
might be a little. He's taking a few knocks to the
And-
head.
Barbar-
Technically, you're
All
standing
my
on
life.
the roll with it. Yeah.
They're easy enough.
Hey, I might be a savage. I'm not a
Easy enough to
barbarian.
spot.
Oh wait, the other way around. Ah,
They're easy enough to spot. Get him down. Untie him. I wish to.
all right. We've already.
Sure about untying?
Untie him.
All right. We've already taken his weapons away. Also, bit of a warning: he can randomly disappear.
Misty
Like,
step? No,
vanish.
in his building he can't.
Okay.
Oh, that's good to know.
So Vincent starts untying him. Just untying him from the chair first, then untying his legs, and if he tries to move, he's gonna just kind of hold him down, and then be like,
Just
"Okay, somebody
untie
get his
him.
arms."
Do not don't worry about stopping him. Just untie him. I wish to observe.
Okay. And they'll untie his arms.
Alartus, you start to feel your bonds loosen. First from the chair, and then from your legs and your arms. What are you doing?
He just sits there, and because he couldn't stop his party, he's just still staring down at his feet, muttering the same words over and over again.
Stand up, my boy, and look at me.
Usually, when he gets up, he'll grab the arms of the chair and do that, but this time he just kind of does it a little creepily. He just stands up without using his arms and still stares down for a moment and then looks up.
You keep muttering this phrase, I have failed her. Who are you talking about?
He's still gonna mutter the same thing.
Unresponsive, at least as far as speech goes, I see. Interesting. I'm just gonna stand there and stare at you, watch your movements. Are you trying to move at all? Are you trying to, run or anything like that?
No, he's just standing there.
What are you hoping to do? What are you hoping to do, Elf?
And that's when he goes from, I failed her, couldn't stop friends, and then just repeats that instead, couldn't stop them, I failed her, couldn't stop them,
And
I
why
failed
were
her.
you trying to stop your friends? From whatever they were doing?
And he just mutters those same two-word sentences.
This is going to take a little more brute force. I do not like doing this. It's rather
I'll do it. And
not
Vincent
that
says as
kind
he
of brute
raises his
force,
bat.
you brute.
Bah.
Barbarian? Stand down until I tell you to hit something, will you?
Oh, fine. I'm just doing it because I want my buddy back.
Sounds kind of like a promise, though, right? You
You
might
will
get
aim
to
to
hit
get your
something.
buddy back. You are not allowed to hit things until I tell you. Things in here are way too precious for that.
Okie dokie.
By the way, I had rolled a 9 on perception to see if I had noticed that they had arrived, but apparently no, I am still very captivated by the architecture, so I have no idea what's going on.
speak with me, or I'm going to go rooting around in your head and you are not going to like it.
He's just gonna keep muttering the same things, but this time his eyes are kind of glazed over.
Is anybody actually watching this cleric?
Vincent
I am.
is.
As you're watching,
Yeah.
you sort of see the cleric shimmer for a moment, almost in rainbow hues. The colors die
Ooh,
down.
pretty.
Yeah.
Their
Pretty.
eyes are completely blank, where a moment before they had like pupils and everything an eye should have. They are completely blank for a moment. Elf, tell me your purpose. Roll me a Constitution saving throw, please. $17?
17.
You feel this energy wash over you, almost like an it's almost like the tide of the, what you imagine the tide of the ocean would feel like if it was dragging you out to sea underwater. You can't grasp anything to stop yourself from being washed away, and you feel this odd compulsion to do as they say. What is your purpose? Try this again.
Stop my party from going
Why?
to the mountains. Give me 1 second. Kameko wants to deal with them herself.
The dragonborn.
How do you know the dragonborn?
One crisis at a time. What happened to you, elf?
I got into a fight with a pink-haired halfling. I shot her. She ended after throwing a firebolt at me. Afterwards, she told me that I needed to disarm and leave the room. And then for the next 24 hours, I needed to find a way to stop my friends from adventuring into the mountains. Kameko wants to deal with them herself.
Mind-altering control. That sounds like a hypnosis spell. Potentially a suggestion spell. I see. I mean, that is easily enough dealt with. You guys have bigger problems, though. And she just kind of waves her hand, snaps her fingers, and you feel the control that the halfling had on you start to fade. You still feel the wolf's energies holding you in place. Tell me, do you mean your friend's harm?
It's at that moment, once the effects of the charm go away, and it's just what the wolf is doing. Alaris just falls to his knees and starts crying and screaming, "I'm sorry, I don't want to hurt them."
This we get. You are, if nothing else, at least honest when you are in the right frame of mind. Could not be helped. Suggestion spells are nasty if they are fired off, and they take hold like a worm in one's brain. You are not in control of your own actions, this we understand. I cannot guarantee this will not happen again. Dragonborn is nasty.
I have a
So you do know her.
You just hear the wolf. You hear
Couple
the wolf
questions?
growl kind of lightly. One thing at a time, please. I need to make sure all of the remnants of the spell are gone first.
Okay.
Tell me, Elf, what is your goal?
Sorry, you
What
cut
is
out
your
the
goal?
last word. I want to help my friends. I want to make sure that they get out of this alive. And at this point, I want to turn that fucking dragonborn into a pincushion.
She is definitely a nasty one. I assume now you at least partially understand what you are up against?
When I first met her, it was ask questions first, shoot later. I'm the complete opposite now.
Good. Do not let her sink her teeth into you again. I may not be able to bring you back next time. And with that, she turns over to the rest of you. And Elardis, you feel her control fade ever so gently. And you just, in its place, and in place of this compulsion to stop your friends, you feel nothing but complete and utter contentment and peace. Almost like she wanted to leave you with something that was a little less traumatic. And just, it washes over you. It starts with slow waves at first. And then it's like standing in the surf as waves crash up on shore and carries you away. And we're going to turn to the rest of the party for the moment.
I have a question for Elf.
What you wish, Colette.
Possibly for DM too.
You have a question for the elf and possibly for the DM. Okay, let her rip.
Okay, so the goal was to keep us away from the mountain, right? Was it not a running theory that Kimiko was up the mountain kidnapping people? So
Yes.
why would she want to keep us away from it if she wants to deal with us herself?
She's
Makes her
not
wonder
ready
what's
for
really
it.
up there.
Sorry, I'm answering and I shouldn't be.
Elardis, that was for you. Your DM will not be answering that question, by the way.
I honestly, I have no idea. Just, I ended up getting charmed, and I just knew that I had to keep you guys from going up into the mountain areas, because apparently Kameko wanted to deal with us herself at some point. That's all I know.
So maybe there's something else up there and it's not her, guys. Suddenly I'm very concerned for our future.
I believe Higg is still captured by our architecture, so sorry,
Did you,
I got nothing.
roll your, I guess, perception or whatever?
I haven't rolled.
Yep.
Yeah, here, I'll roll now.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
17, there we
captivating
go.
As this architecture is, you kind of pull yourself out of that trance, and you slip into every so often, especially when dealing with new architecture, new contraptions, basically the building of anything. And you realize that there's a wolf standing in kind of this before your friends, or standing in front of your friends, and Elardis has been loosed from the chair, and he's kind of just standing there, or kneeling there at the moment, or sitting.
Would I have seen the wolf around town before, or are they keep to themselves kind of folk?
Again, crossed paths with, you haven't really made a point of making friends with, but you know the wolf from around town.
Okay. So she'll be like, oh, hey! So you're here, and hey, you fixed the elf. Awesome. Where are we going now? Are we gonna kill the bitch?
Speaking of, would you have any advice on fighting her? Other than don't use fire. I learned that the hard.
Don't die. Kaneko, I don't have advice per se. Just if she feels trapped, she has no issue eliminating anything around her. Potentially herself, potentially items, and people.
Cool.
Somebody's got fireball, guys!
And she has multiple ways of doing so. She is not, how do you say, concerned with life.
Oh,
No
thanks,
wonder why I
Captain
hate her so
Obvious.
much.
So, yeah.
Cool, so I can make myself not concerned with her life. Got it.
She has many, many tricks up her sleeve. Do not underestimate her. She's been the bane of my existence for quite some time.
How long?
Ours too.
How
You
long
could come
has-
with us.
My
Join the kill party.
job is unfortunately here. As for how long I have known her, there are more of us from around your era than you realize. I've been here.
Okay.
I've been here.
Oh!
I've been here, however, setting things up for about 150 years.
Hey, question then. Do you happen to know someone named Blazewing?
The bat.
Yeah,
I
the
know
pretty
of her.
bat.
The gods have been most generous with the people I meet from time to time, forging connections.
Do you have a way to get a hold of her? She gave us this coin, and I tried to use it, and the thing turned to ash. I'm kind of worried
Yeah,
about her.
there is something wrong with the black butterfly, if you know what that is.
Butterfly, huh? The coin turning to ash.
Yeah, and when we tried to...
Signifies exactly one thing, as far as I understand, from what I was told. The black butterfly is no longer under the Blaze's control.
Do you think she's
No,
okay?
Unfortunately, our gods are mysterious ones. They do not always give the information needed. And if they do, it is usually cryptic.
Well, it'd be boring if you found out everything
agree.
right away.
But they do usually leave a bridge from time to time.
Would you happen to know another way to contact her, or was that coin it?
Before I answer that, what are your intentions?
I really just want to check on her. I'm worried
As far as
about her.
Going forward from here, once you leave my doors, what are you planning to do?
Go up the mountain, hopefully rescue the missing people, get the paradox thing that's causing issues, and hopefully at some point premeditated murder against a certain dragonborn.
Paradox you are going after. This is weapons, huh?
Something
From-
about saving the world and yeah.
Familiar.
Do you know Grimlock?
Don't know that name.
Alright. That's the guy who
I
sent
do know,
us.
however, of a group or two, maybe, of adventurers who are supposedly supposed to set the world right, possibly restart and potentially reform the world into something better than it currently is, bringing all of the worlds together into one.
Well, now you know 3.
I'll tell you what. I will continue to... I will look into ways to contact her. I cannot guarantee I will find anything. But I will see what I can find. If I find a back way of communicating with her, I will let you know. If you are heading out
Alright.
to Paradox, I wish you all the best. I would, however, like to give you something before you leave. Well, a couple of somethings before you leave. In hopes of speeding your journey up the mountain, I suppose. If you will give me a moment, I need to go collect.
You hear a little, wait.
They turn around and look over.
Higg's gonna take out her little list of missing parts and hand it. If you know where I can find this stuff, just let me know.
Sitting in our storage room.
Good.
I shall get them for you, Higg.
Thank you.
Fair?
Fair. She'll detach herself from your leg.
So, the wolf wanders off, leaving you guys alone for a few. Now is the time for you to... Now is the time where the floor is open. You can do as you wish.
Vincent goes up to Ilardis. Is he still on the floor, I take it?
Yeah, I haven't gotten up.
Alright. And he's just gonna sit on the floor next to him. Say, you good?
In terms of the BS that just happened, yeah, I'm fine. But
You feel like skinning a red fire-breathing lizard?
always, but now more so.
That's the kind of energy we need right now. Come on, man. Get up. And Vincent will stand, kind of grab onto Ilardis' arm and help him up.
He gets up and kind of dusts himself off, and then looks around at everybody else, and just he looks down again, and you can just see like drops of water falling and hitting the floor.
Just so you know, if you did shoot an arrow at me, and I wouldn't kill you, but you'd be on the floor. And he kind of pats Ilardis on the back. And I can still vomit farther than you.
Let's not test that in a church, though, guys.
You're right, dude. No hard feelings. Wasn't your fault.
Nico, what are you doing?
I want to go up to priest and be like, "How did you change colors?"
So, the priest returns. The cleric returns a moment later as you and you walk up to them. Oh, did I change colors? That is, it is gift from my deity. It is something. It's a tool I need to use in order to sometimes see through certain things, magic-wise, or in order to see the truth. It is sign of, I suppose, faith. Almost kind of a connection between my god and I.
He looks like a rainbow. It was very pretty.
I'm dull. Don't tell anybody, but Heimdall likes rainbows. He's,
I won't say anything.
not
Thank you for helping my friend.
not normal rainbows like ones in the sky, but ones that shimmer and sparkle. You get the light show every once in a while in here too. It's really cool.
There are
Uh-huh.
different
Wanna
kinds
make a
of
light show?
One at a time.
rainbows.
Yuki, you were saying?
I want to make a light show.
And Nico, you were saying?
There are different kinds of
There are
rainbows.
many. This is only one. Do not have rainbows aren't just your standard colors, you know. She smiles. They smile. Yep.
I'll be right back.
Your cleric walks up to you guys with a couple of items, with a few items in their hands, and one appears to be a giant sword, like a long sword. And there's a couple of scrolls.
Hey, what's all this for?
For you, 2 scrolls. One is for immunity to cold, and the other one is immunity to fire. However, they are only temporary. They should only last a minute or two, but they will negate all cold and heat damage for that 1 minute. You have 1 charge of each.
Desperate times, desperate measures
I'm
kind
not
of
allowed
thing.
to
Okay.
interfere, but it does not mean that I cannot arm you, or at least gift you something that's. Hopefully, you find a decent place to use it. I'm hoping that maybe you will find them useful in the future. But again, I'm not allowed to interfere. So, the third thing. That is from the god himself. Was not expecting. I was only planning to give you scrolls. But it has been made apparent that you might be in need of this.
You know, someone has really screwed up when the gods themselves want them
Gods
dead.
do not want anybody. The god does not want anybody dead, I know. He cares about all. But sometimes there are lines that people cross. I mean, us mortals do have free will after all. Yeah. And we make our own choices, we make our own beds, and we lie in them. And there is only so much shittery that the gods will endure. There are things that even they cannot justify. Who here uses long swords?
You hear a little snort laugh from Higg.
I think the only one capable would be Vincent.
I do.
You can use a longsword?
Alardis just grabs the hilt of the sword of Calhoun and pulls it out.
That is fascinating sword. Where you get?
It was in a tomb we found, say, a couple weeks ago, give or take.
It's pretty. Look after it. Who wants this longsword? Don't all
Vincent
don't
needs
all
to come
speak up
back.
at once.
I can hang on to it for now. I know we have a barbarian that could probably use this sword a lot better than I probably could.
Well, this longsword comes with an added perk. It does not happen often, but once per, I suppose, day, if you get into trouble, you can activate sword for, shall we say, an expeditious retreat. Not a spell. If you need to make hasty escape, It will teleport you to one spot, away from where you currently are. Problem is, you do not get to choose spot. Usually always within 100 miles, however. But it will get you out of trouble in a hurry if you need.
Would that be an entire party teleport or just a single person?
You and your allies. Or anybody you consider an ally, I suppose.
That's nifty. I like it.
Gift from Heimdall. Do not lose. Once you are done with mission, I want it back.
Of course.
One second.
I'm back, by the way.
Welcome back.
Hey.
Welcome.
There's a sword for you and the elf to fight over.
Who
Ooh.
wants to... So
Longsword
now
that teleport.
Vincent is back, who would like to go over details?
I took notes. So, we got 2 scrolls. They last for a minute each. 1 use only. 1 is cold resist. 1 is
Immunity.
fire resist.
One
Oh,
will negate
immunity. Sorry.
Either all...
I will
One will
change that
negate
in a
all
moment.
cold damage for 1 minute, and it is enough to cover your entire party. The other will negate all fire damage for 1 minute, and it is enough to cover your entire party.
Cool.
And there is a longsword, which we must return when done. So, once per day, activate it for expeditious retreat. We'll teleport away from the current location at random, usually within 100 miles. Teleports the whole group.
It doesn't cast Expeditious Retreat. Basically, it will teleport your entire party to a place within 100 miles of where you currently are. But you don't have a choice in where that place is. But it will get you out of a bind in a hurry if you need. Basically, the cleric shows you
Alright.
how to operate it, and you take the sword and shove it kind of down into the ground, and I guess call on Heimdall for assistance, transportation, or basically get me the fuck out of here, something like that. Make sure he's aware, but it will, teleport you away.
Stab the ground, scream Heimdall, help, and
Something
hold
like
on
that.
to your butts.
Anything to get his. Sorry, go ahead.
I like the. Oh, I was gonna say I like the idea that she demonstrates this, and then goes, "Oh wait, the fuck," and disappears.
You
Whoops.
see her shimmer rainbow for a moment. Stays exactly where she is.
Mm.
So, climbing the mountain is not going to be easy. Is going to be probably difficult. Is going to be challenging. And I am sure you are aware that people have not come back in quite some time.
Yeah, they keep
Yeah.
disappearing, getting kidnapped, completely poofing out of existence, something along those lines. We've heard stories.
Well, I wish you all the best. At least this god smiles upon you. After you are provided you succeed with mountain, what is next goal for you?
Well, if we happen to run into Kamiko up there, then our goal will have been met. We'll have her head. And we will return here, and I believe we still have other business to see to before we can consider our mission here in this timeline successful. I mean, the other thing we need to do is try and get maybe in contact with Blazewing and get the black butterfly back in order.
Decent goals. I will warn you, Kameko is only the first step.
Wait, it gets worse than her?
Much worse.
Oh, come on!
Well, if she's the first step, I will step hard.
You do. But
Curb
from what I
stomper.
have understood, you have come a long way. And you have bested almost any challenge set up against you, so I do not see why you should fail now.
I mean, we beat the ghost ship, guys.
Unless we're...
Sorry, Nico, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, yeah, and people said that was impossible.
Vincent, you were saying?
Oh, right, I was gonna say... I was literally going to say, yeah, it's not like we're stupid.
I'm going to gently pat Vincent on the top of his bald head.
Barbarian loses few brain cells, yes?
I mean, I do get hit a lot.
As is natural for you.
Hey, life's hard, and so am I. I mean, overall, not just
You may want to
down
talk
there.
to a doctor for that. I think they make pills for that, barbarian. Might be sign of concussion.
We're in a goddamn temple! Keep it in your pants!
It's in my pants!
Please keep it.
And keep it that way.
Any temple defiled today.
Today.
So that
you
means
sound like
tomorrow's
a
okay?
regular occurrence.
Sorry, say that again, Yuki?
Today, you make that sound like a regular occurrence.
And, Higg, you were saying?
So does that mean tomorrow's okay?
I would prefer not. But
You prefer not, but is it?
let me...
No means no!
How I make this clear. Try and find out.
He will! He will try. He will challenge accepted you.
I'm gonna check the time. See how close to midnight it is.
It's probably like late evening at this point, say like 9 or 10 o'clock-ish, comparatively.
And I ain't got nothing else to do right now. I can wait around.
No. Higg will start coming across. I still need my parts. And you'll feel a little
yes,
tug
sorry,
on your...
Sorry, one moment.
like hair.
I got sidetracked. Bloody oaf. Rummages around in a bag that was in
It's
one
just
of her
screens.
other in her other hand, and kind of mutters to themselves for a moment, and hands the bag over to you. Here is parts you require, at least the half that we had.
Is it a big bag?
Kind of ish.
So she could like stick her whole upper body in it? Yeah, she's just gonna dive right in there, basically. You hear a lot of oohs and ahs, and that's just what I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
As this is all going on, he's gonna take his quiver off of him and hand it to the cleric and goes, "So, any chance I can get this to shoot frost arrows, apparently?"
She kind of looks. You see her eyes cloud over and go completely white for a moment, and she comes back a moment later. Quiver is already enchanted, yes?
Yeah, apparently I can have somebody put a spell into it so long as it's, I think it was either cantrip or level 1 or something.
It was level 1.
Yeah, on level 1 spell either way. I get a couple charges of it, but
So,
as long as I can freeze the
tell
scaly
me,
bit.
how long until you plan to go up the mountain?
Tomorrow.
ASAP.
That does not leave. That does not
Soon as-
leave much time. Vincent, you were going to say?
Oh, as soon as we can, I was just going to say.
Leave Quiver with me for tonight. I will see what I can do, no promises. Is Quiver of spell storing? I will see what I can do. No promises, but pick it up tomorrow on your way out of town. And we'll talk then. Sound fair?
Suppose so.
So grab the quiver and pull it kind of back and just kind of hold it by the strap. Anything else you require of church services?
I think
Healing
we're okay.
potions?
You can pray for us.
Prayer is always assured. And you barbarian, you wanted what?
Oh, I was just thinking, like, healing potions.
Do
If
not have
any are
healing
available.
Potions available at the moment. Unfortunately,
Alright.
our stock is running low, but we are making more. Should take us probably another week. Well, if there is nothing else,
Alright, well, thank you, though.
We thank you for visiting the church. Don't forget to leave donation on the way out. We, unfortunately, do not survive off of good graces.
Okay. Thank you for your services.
Higg's gonna hand the cleric a little card, and it's basically going to be like a little 10% discount card for her shop.
How many uses card?
Oh, that's a forever. I only have a couple of those, so keep it on. Nobody gave you that.
Definitely make use of these. I will probably come stop by the shop and see what's up.
We're always open for you.
I'm gonna put 10 gold in the donation box.
You see her kind of nod. Kind of thank you, and yeah. So.
Along with like 10 gold, Nico's gonna add another 10 gold, and then like also like some peanuts
Also
in
put
there.
some what?
Mhm.
God damn it.
Peanuts.
God damn it.
Peanut. Well, at least it's a snack.
So.
Question for Alardis.
Possible answer?
Did you leave your arrows in the quiver, or was your quiver empty?
There's always one arrow in it, but every time I pull an arrow out,
Yeah,
another one
it's
pops up.
Do you have other arrows?
I have infinite arrows.
Basically, his quiver is reloading. It's a quiver of
Self-refilling.
He only ever needs to keep one in it.
Remember that potion that I accidentally made that will turn someone to stone for 4 days? I very much would like to test the effects on his arrows.
Alardis?
I mean, I'm okay with this, but we'll probably have to test it when we find our quarry, I guess, is the proper term I would like to use for now.
I was thinking we can put a little bit into some sort of dish that we don't care about, just in case. Dip the tips of the arrows, and you could, like, shoot a tree or something and see if part of the tree solidifies, just to test.
Why a tree? Higg gets like really like she's looking at you like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Because I don't want to test on a sentient living target, like, you know, a deer or something.
Well, just. Sorry, it's really loud here for a sec.
Oh yeah, Vincent to also leave a donation of 10 gold.
The doorman kind of looks at you and nods and smiles.
Higg will throw in a 10 as well while she's still looking at all of them like they're crazy people.
So, what are you guys doing next?
Well, I believe we will need some rest before we go. We'll need to wait until the morning anyway so that we could come back here as we head out of town.
Okay.
Does anyone else need to pick up any kind of mountaineering, cold weather gear, things like that?
Higg took care of all that.
Got it.
All right, because Vincent already has some as well. Is there any kind of magic? Oh.
We already bought all of our cold weather gear.
Right. Is there anything magical that would help us?
We did our shopping already, didn't we?
I believe I did, yes. And I believe other people did, so... Okay.
Yeah. So it's really just testing these arrows. And sleep.
And maybe some sort of a pendant to help me with getting charmed, because I don't know about any of you guys, but I'm sick of it.
I've been mind controlled. At least I've been mind controlled only one time, and I'm sick of it. So, let's go. Let's start with Yuki first.
Okay, is there trees, like, already felled trees, so I'm not risking killing another one?
Roll me a
Anywhere nearby?
Roll me a perception check. 15?
15.
Not here at the moment. Things are pretty well kept here. You might have better luck outside of the city. And it is getting pretty late.
Any trees in the city, somewhere with decent
There are
lighting?
trees within the city, but things are all pretty well kept. Felled branches, felled trees. They tend to take care of those in order to keep things neat and tidy.
Oh, that reminds me. I'm going to need to see if I can find a block and tackle.
Block and tackle.
Find a what?
Yeah, you know, like a pulley system for heavy loads.
That would probably be Higg's shop.
Yep.
Oh, good to know.
Yuki.
Okay, so how about sleep, and then we can test the arrows? This way we've got daylight.
Make sense?
Good for me.
Back to the inn. Nap time, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. 1 second. While I grab a thing here. Where is... You guys head back to the tavern. Make your way to your rooms. The night drags on. And one by one, you all fall asleep. It's been an intriguing couple of days for you. In foreign territories, no idea what's coming up. But you do happen to drift off in cozy beds. And one by one, as you guys are looking around in your dreams, things seem to become a little cloudy, a little misty. And you hear this high, cold, cackling laugh. Almost predatory. And that's where we're actually going to end session for today.
Oh.
Oh. Ending on a spooky note.